about non-stick cast iron. What you say? That's nonsense. There's not non-stick cast iron. Yes, there is, because cast iron chef Geoffrey Zakarian has made it happen. Sure, he's an iron chef. We now call him cast iron chef. And what we're also talking about is a phenomenal opportunity for you to pick up this great brazier. Now, a brazier set is something that is a pan designed to help you cook proteins in liquid and let that braise for long periods of time, like a pot roast. Maybe it's a beef stew like I did the other night on top of the stove.
Maybe it's a fricassee, maybe it's ossobuco.
Maybe it's any of those delightful things. And boy, I'll tell you what, comfort food is my jam. Anytime somebody's making it, I'm all about it. Now, you've got a non-stick pan. This pan, let me grab my card here. This pan is 4.5 quarts. You also have the lid, and you have a steaming and cooking rack included. You're also going to get 4 recipes from cast iron chef Geoffrey Zakarian. His Yankee pot roast, his Thai coconut curry mussels, his Moroccan spiced lamb with lemon and almonds, and a braised green bean puttanesca. Delightful. So, Iron Chef Geoffrey Zakarian, welcome back, sir.
Nice to see you again, David.
You're making one of my favorites.
I'm just searing some ribs. We're making short ribs. Oh. So who doesn't like short ribs?
Braised beef short ribs.
Braised beef short ribs. We are gonna just, you know.
Wait a minute. Are you serving that over polenta?
I am. I can't help myself.
You tempt me, kind sir.
I do. So we're gonna show you how this is a brazier. Again, the technology is cast iron. What does that mean? It's what we use as chefs in my kitchen. A brazier is a great idea to braise. This is homey. This is stay-at-home food for the soul. We have chicken, we have beef, and guess what we're going to start with? Some eggs. If we can come over here and see my eggs with my what's really fun thing.
So you did just breakfast in here, right?
Just breakfast. I took the eggs, the bacon first. I cooked it. Then I lifted it off. I roasted my eggs or sautéed my eggs. And then I'm just going to use...
You sautéed those eggs in butter. I can see the edges.
A little butter and a little bacon fat. And I'm just going to lay those down. And guess what I'm going to do?
It's the way God intended. Right?
Guess what I'm going to do with the what I'm going to do with the leftover fat here? I'm going to make bacon and egg fried rice.
You're not.
I am. So this is a little rice right in that fat. You can see it's non-stick because it's
some
pooling.
Leftover fried or leftover cooked rice. Yeah.
Cooked rice. Some leftover vegetables, some frozen vegetables, whatever you have in the house. I had some frozen peas, some broccoli.
Now, Chef, if you wanted to chop up some of that bacon and put it back in there, could you do that?
You can do that
well?
too. I'm going to let that fry. Then I'm going to make a little well and add my eggs right into there. And I'm going to have the most delicious bacon and egg fried rice with vegetables. Yes, did I say boom?
Boom.
Boom.
If you didn't, I'll say it for you. Boom.
So what's great about this technology, it is non-stick. It's cast iron, any oven, any surface. Again, outside, fireplace, camping, you name it. We do it.
Now, this is Chef's mac and cheese.
My mac and cheese. Now, I just want to show you. I want to show you this camera. Look at the jiggle. It's already unsticking.
Jiggle,
it's already unsticking.
Wiggle.
See that? And I want to get a shot of that because you can't leave it. It's piping hot. You might not be able to eat this.
No, I wouldn't be able to eat it.
But I'm just going to show you the corner here. And look, can we just? Oh, can we? Really?
Well, see, this is what's crazy. We've known cast iron since the days of the cowboys in the Old West used cast iron. But what they didn't have back then was non-stick cast iron.
Technology.
My grandma had cast iron, but she would always say, David, don't put a speck of soap in my cast iron skillet.
So, let's go back to the big four, I call them, the braised beef ribs. So we have in here the big ribs. We're going to have some beautiful mirepoix, onions, carrots, celery, a little garlic cut in half. Look how beautiful that looks.
Yum.
And then what do we need on that? We need red wine, some Zakarian red wine, Zinfandel. Okay.
Might want a wine facial.
And we want a wine facial, some beef stock.
Yum.
Right? And then that is going to go, I'm going to borrow a cover here. That's going to go in the oven.
When you braise, do you like to cover the meat completely or just halfway?
Just halfway. That's a great question. Just halfway. I'm going to put that in here. 2 hours at about 375. Right? And,
I've got your oven door.
You got me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now, this is, through the magic of TV, the finished beef short ribs.
Yeah. You ready?
Oh.
I put some fresh peas in there. Look how gorgeous that is.
Oh, gorgeous.
And I have, everyone's favorite, polenta. This is, if you're at home with a family, you want to get a pantry item, you pull out polenta, It serves a lot.
Come on. And you know what? Polenta is from, it's basically a...
Cornmeal, it's grits,
corn,
people.
It's grits. It's grits, right? So it's from the corn family, the grits family. But I'm going to tell you right now, if your short ribs fall off the bone, you did it right.
Yep. So
you let it braise long enough, but leave those bones in because they create this tremendous flavor. I'm telling you what, if that were cool enough, I'd put my whole face in it because it is so good. That is my jam right there.
Right there.
Chef.
And I'm going to tell you something. What's great about polenta also is it's a pantry item. And anything you have in your pantry is perfect because you just pull it out and you can go to it on a dime in a minute.
You know, I went into my pantry just the other day and I was surveying what I had on hand and what I could be cooking with and using. And I tell you, I love polenta. It's so good. If you are not someone that is familiar with cooking polenta, that just as easily will serve over butter noodles or mashed potatoes. Really delightful. And then I love you threw in some garden peas for color, but then you put fresh herbs on top.
Yeah, just at the end. So what you have there is that's a hearty stew, and that's really, you know, for a family of like 200.
Wait.
You see that bubble?
I'm smelling what you're bubbling here.
So what we're doing right here, and what's great about these pans are you have a nice surface area so you can really fry up 8 or 10 pieces of chicken. We're going to make a little chicken stew. You ready for this? A fricassee, some tomatoes, some onions, bay leaf, some gorgeous mushrooms.
Yes, sir.
A little salt and pepper.
Nice.
White wine, 300 degrees, and that goes in the oven. We cover that.
I love the chef is not shy with the wine.
You have to have wine. The wine, what the wine does is it's an acid. It breaks down the poultry, the meat, and the protein, and it makes everything tender.
But it also makes everything taste good,
Everything tastes good. So we just see that, and that's what we have, the beautiful chicken
and
fricassee.
Chef, real quickly, if I can grab this. Can you explain before we run out of time? These basting spikes.
Yes, so the basting spikes, these spikes right here, if you can see the little bumps or dots, they're elevated off the surface. If you can see the condensation, what happens, that drips back in. So all this luscious flavor, you don't lose in the air. It doesn't get out of the pan, and it rotates and it braises. Acts just like almost a Dutch oven, continues to put the sauce back into the
This is 4.5 quarts. I'm gonna pop that here, Chef, if I may. And just remind everyone that we've got a great opportunity for you to pick up more non-stick cast iron that will never, ever, ever need seasoning. What I am is very, very, very jealous of the people that get to eat those short ribs.
I'm sorry that you can't right now.
I have to run. They do this to me purposely so that I won't overeat.